What binds us is when the mind is caught up and is unable to discern between what is changing, what is not changing, what is permanent, what is temporary. Then the event becomes bigger than you. You have lost wisdom. Look beyond death and birth. Those are passing things. Body dies. Body is born. But you are never born. You never die. Where is the divine force? What is God or what does faith in the divine mean? Being with what is as it is. In chapter 4, Lord Krishna identifies different techniques. Okay? He's identifying different techniques that help us to purify mind, intellect, and ego. Man, buddhi, and ahankar. And he's talking about the practice of yajna, offering what you do, the results, and your actions to something higher, greater, or the idea of doing selfless service, selfless action. Like a mother, what she does is not for her, she's doing for her children. Is it? It's a natural, selfless action. Until she decides now the children should do something for her, then it starts to change a little bit. Correct? So he's been describing this. And one of the things Lord Krishna says is that controlling the senses is a way to purify your own actions, your own choices, and so on. And so we were just discussing the last time that our senses just don't do one function. No, you look, but while you're looking, you also touch. While you're listening, you're also touching. While you smell, you also touch. And then the question was how? And basic idea is you see something beautiful. You don't just look, it's not just a function of looking or seeing, sight. Along with it comes this notion of I want. Are you with me? No, you see a pretty girl walking by. You don't just look and say pretty and move on to the next thing, the tree next to her. You keep watching the girl. And then if your eyes follow, are you all with me? Your eyes follow, then you have done what? Not just look, but also touch, grab, right? So they had an exercise to do the last 2 weeks. Pick a sense and see, do you just use it for its function? Just look, just listen, just smell. You put on perfume, you don't smell it. Someone else next to you smells it, and they're touching you. You're inviting touch also. This was the conversation we were having. We're not saying it's right. We're not saying it's wrong. It's becoming aware that our senses are doing much more than their function. And as a result, what is happening? The mind gets active. The senses are running the mind versus the other way around. You know, I told you about the chariot. Lord Krishna is driving the chariot. There are 5 horses. The 5 senses. Who should be running the senses ideally? Divine. You have to be in charge, but that's not how it is. The horses are galloping randomly on their own. I want, I like, I don't want, constantly. Okay, so that's where we had left off. Yeah. Any thoughts? Any thoughts from this audience or the one over here? Please comment on truth is spherical. See, what our mind likes to do is we want a formula. If I want to go from here to here, tell me one thing. What do I need to do? Correct? That's what we want. But then that's not the truth. It's a direction, but you could get from point A to point B 100 different ways. And sometimes it's contradictory. Gurudev gives this example. You're going to go from here to wherever. You get out of your house, you get in your car, you park your car, Then you get in the bus, but then you get off the bus. Why did you get in the bus in the first place if you're going to get off? That's contradictory. Yes or no? Right? You park your car. Well, why did you go in the car if you're going to park your car to get in the bus? Why didn't you just stay in the car? Like these, we want one fixed truth, one fixed idea, but it doesn't work like that. Why? Because truth is not facts. We misunderstand this thing. We think that there's only one truth. How many truths are there? One truth. There's only one truth. What is that? Everything's changing. That's it. That's the truth. Yes? Everything's changing. Yet your mind simultaneously has this experience that, well, not everything changes, or you keep seeking for things that don't change, don't you? These things are contradictory. These two things coexist because everything exists in opposites in life. We want it only one way, as if only one side of the equation exists. So even if you look at it from a relative perspective, truth is spiritual. You go around and around. It's not linear. But that's really not what's bothering you. What's bothering you? What's really the question?
So I recognized it to feel true, that truth is spherical. And I thought about the opposite values and how that makes sense. But it's very unsettling. It gives me,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it is. But that's exactly why we want one answer. That's correct. That's why my statement. See, we are looking for one thing. Give me the magic formula and I will get there. And you heard Gurudev say, you do this, you do this, you do this. But in the end, what happens? Time will make the decision. Correct? It is very unsettling, but that actually is what he talked about in terms of faith. Do you remember? What is faith? Curiosity about the unknown. That is not enough. Willingness to step into the unknown. That is faith. However it is, good or bad, scary or not, I'm going. I'm going to step into it. I'm going to move towards it. I'm going to look for it, even though it's unsettling. That actually is the truth. Nobody go into the unknown, you'll be happy. Everybody in the world tells you should know where you're going, plan ahead, figure it out, don't leave things for guesswork. It's quite the opposite of what we know. Yes? This thing about awareness, though, is what you really should be talking about. Fire of knowledge burns all karma. That's what he said. Not knowing the knowledge, but integrating it. His last sentence was with emotion and life. It has to integrate in both places. Then it burns karma. Honest to God, when you really get aware of something, your system goes, oh my God, what have I been doing? Yes or no? There's a big eureka in your system. Oh my God, what was I thinking? What have I been doing? That's a deep revelation, a moment of awareness. At that moment, when it's really coming from something inside, when you're really tired of what you did, you don't go back again. Otherwise, you find a way back to doing the same thing again and again and again. Integrate. He said it's a very profound statement, the last sentence that Gurudev said, when knowledge gets integrated into life and emotion, then it becomes that which burns karma. Then it is the fire of wisdom that burns bad habits. You could say that. Karma means what? Patterns, bad habits, doing things that don't go for you, work for you. When you're deeply clear, when you really get like, I can't do this anymore. What am I doing? Where has this gotten me? Whether it's in the relative, your experience, or from the knowledge perspective, your experience. then things change. Then it becomes what Lord Krishna described in the book as the highest yajna. Remember the 12 different yajnas that he described earlier, right? From the fire of knowledge, when we burn karma, this is the highest yajna. So few things to really take away. To become aware, you need purusharth, self-effort. You have to want to know. You have to want to shift. You have to be willing to let go a behavior, an idea, an attitude. Only then can awareness dawn. 99% of the time, what we want to keep the same behavior, get different results. Isn't it so? And the way we find ways to keep the same behavior is, I feel bad, I feel guilty, I'm so sorry, and then you do it again. But see, I feel so bad, I feel so guilty. Guilt does only one thing, it gives you permission to continue that behavior. There's only two options. Change the behavior or stop feeling guilty and do what you're doing. Just think about what I just said. Guilt is a way to continue the behavior. Because the moment you let go of the guilt, there's only two options. You accept the behavior and you take responsibility. I'm doing this and I'm okay with it. You take responsibility for what you're doing. In this, there is awareness, mind you. There is a way to get to freedom in this. Yes? Or the second option is stop feeling guilty, number one, and continue, or change your behavior. Get fed up of how you feel, the guilt, the feeling bad, and say, I can't. The guilt is too big. That price is not worth it. I'm going to change my behavior. That's the easier road. That is called fire of awareness, fire of knowledge. We stay in the comfort zone because we get to continue in our ignorance. He said that somewhere. I don't remember which verse it is, but Lord Krishna directly says, letting go of the ignorance. You have to let go of that pattern that's not serving you and make a decision to enter the unknown. I'm going to let go of this behavior and I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to move ahead. Anything from your side? No? It's good. Once in a lifetime, you have to read this. Pick up the small version. This, you can feel like, oh, I can read it in a lifetime. It's just if you stop to contemplate each verse, then, But we're almost to the end of chapter 4. It's a big deal, no? All right. So, any comments or anything that have gone on for you for 2 weeks? If not, I'll have Mala start chanting. All good? Great. All right, so Mala, I think you start with, I'm just randomly picking verse 40 of chapter 4. You do the Sanskrit, and then we'll just read through the English before getting into chapter 5.
अज्ञाश्चाश्रद्धानश्च संशयात्मा विनश्यति नायं लोकोऽस्ति न परो न सुखं संशयात्मनः.
He who lacks discrimination is devoid of faith and is at the same time possessed by doubt, is lost to the spiritual path. For the doubting soul, there is neither this world nor the world beyond, nor even happiness. I'm going to have to comment on this. We can't let this go, This is, I don't know if we did it the last time, but listen. Remember the 4 pillars of knowledge? You remember that, right? The talk, you've heard it over and over every time you do part 2 course. Discrimination, viveka, is one of the pillars, correct? What do we have to discriminate? What do we have to discern between? Somebody? Discrimination. One verse.
Permanent
Yeah,
versus
Is permanent and what is impermanent.
that's correct. Discernment is from the path, spiritual path level, we're looking at what is lasting, what is permanent, and what is changing. What is non-changing, what is changing. If you lack that, just imagine if we actually have it alive, just like we were speaking about a little bit ago, in terms of that little background voice that says, oh, what are you putting this on for? Is it for that voice? If you do not have discernment, what it does versus if you have it. So you're caught up in a situation. We all have some situation, pleasant or unpleasant. It's not just unpleasant, pleasant or unpleasant. If that voice could remain in the background that says, this is going to pass, this is going to change. You feel some emotion, you're struggling with something. Doesn't matter how big or how small. Small could be traffic, it's going to pass, it'll clear up. It could be big, something related to career or health or job. Everything is changing. This is going to change. If that little awareness, that little voice could be there in the background, what would happen? There would already be distance between the event and yourself. There would be a gap, this divine gap between what is happening and you feeling it's happening to you. Do you see what I'm saying to you? No? When we do not have that, when we cannot distinguish between changing and non-changing, when we believe what is happening is going to last forever, it's, quote, the truth, that is what life is going to be, and this is happening to me. When we think that, then what is it? They are devoid of faith. Faith in what? Faith in what? Somebody? It's not faith in some, oh, now God, I lack faith in the divine or something. No, faith in what is. As it is, what is. When you don't have faith in what is, you're delusional. We have put a veil over ourselves to tell ourselves what is in fact something other than what it is. Listen, this is so amazing. Is devoid of faith. Generally, we take the word faith to mean I have trust in God or I don't. But it's so much more pragmatic in a sense than it sounds, and that actually is God. Accepting what is for what it is, you have transcended past or future and landed fully in the present. Where is the divine force? What is God or what does faith in the divine mean? Being with what is as it is. Then you're in existence versus a moment. You're all looking at me very intently. Are you getting what I'm saying to you? Do you understand? You're no longer caught in the moment, meaning the event that's passing, but what's under or above or around the moment, when you can see it for what it is. What is it? This is going to change. That is seeing it as a moment that's going to pass. Versus, why is it like this? It shouldn't be happening to me. It's happening to me. This is bad. This is good. You still do what you have to take action, to make changes, but you remain outside of it. There, karta and bhokta change. The doing, the doership, and the enjoyer and the enjoyment change. There's a gap between these two things. Don't make it all spiritual. Actually, just think about it very, very pragmatic in life. How much freedom there is. Then we don't worry about rejection, someone's opinion, what they said, didn't say, what is important, what is not. Just you keep letting it go. Keep pedaling the bike forward. Are you with me? Yes? He who lacks discernment, discrimination, is devoid of faith and is at the same time possessed by doubt. That's actually how we start to have self-doubt, doubt in the situation, doubt in our own potential, and then the doubt in the divine, that there's some greater, higher power that's with me, that's going to get me through this. Yes? And at the same time, possessed by doubt, is lost to the spiritual path. For the doubting soul, there is neither this world, nor the world beyond, nor even happiness. Well, we know this. Once we get caught up in the situation, once we lose doubt in ourselves, once we lose the trust and the confidence that this is going to change, I don't need to worry about it, it's going to change. Sooner or later, this is going to change. Then the doubt, the fear starts to take over. Then everything crashes. What does someone think? Do they like it? Don't they like it? How am I looking? How am I not looking? What are they going to say? Then everything becomes calculation. Everything becomes you mentally, emotionally trying to figure it out. You, the small you. Not the one in the gap, not the one that's transcended. The conditioned mind takes over. And then everything is lost. Then we move in doubt. We don't think we can solve the situation. We don't think it's going to move. It's not going to change. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if the other is good enough. That is when we start to reel in doubt. Now, we do not succeed in the world. We do not succeed, quote, succeed in being established in the essence, nor are we just pure, simple, happy, enjoying the moment even. Huh? Good thing we did verse 40. Okay. 41.
योगसन्न्यस्तकर्माणम् ज्ञानसञ्छिन्नसंशयम् आत्मवन्तं न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय.
Arjuna, actions do not bind him who has dedicated all his actions to God according to the spirit of Karma Yoga, whose doubts have been dispelled by wisdom, and who is self-possessed. This is clear, right? It goes back to what we just were talking about. What binds us is when the mind is caught up and is unable to discern between what is changing, what is not changing, what is permanent, what is temporary. Then the event becomes bigger than you. You have lost wisdom. See, what does it say? Doubts have been dispelled by wisdom, and who is self-possessed. Then you feel, okay, I can do it. When discernment is lost, everything is lost. We don't really look at the 4 pillars of knowledge. Sometimes perhaps we should watch that video and go into each of those pillars, because it's really very, very big. We take it very lightly. Okay, Vivek, Vairagya, and we can label the titles of each of the pillars. But how does that show up in our life, in day-to-day daily life, or in our own faith and inner journey? We have to sometimes dig into it. Actions do not bind him who has dedicated all his actions to God according to the spirit of Karma Yoga. What is the spirit of Karma Yoga? You are not the doer. You are not the enjoyer if you are not the doer. But if you are the doer, you become the enjoyer. Now, how do you become the doer? When you can't discern, when you can't separate, this is an event coming and going. It's going to change. When the event, someone's words, someone's thought, opinion, idea become you, we're caught. Then we're caught. Then the knowledge is lost. Then we become the doer. Yes? 42.
तस्माद् अज्ञानसम्भूतं हृस्तं ज्ञानासीनात्मनः चित्त्वैनं संशयं योगाम् आतिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ भारत.
Therefore, Arjuna, slashing to pieces with the sword of knowledge this doubt in your heart, born of ignorance, Establish yourself in Karma Yoga in the shape of even-mindedness and stand up for the fight. Slashing to pieces with the sword of knowledge. What is the knowledge? We already discussed. He's been saying it. Lord Krishna went on in chapter 2, then chapter 3, and now he's talking about action. What is the knowledge? You are not this body. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. All those people have never been born. All those people will die. You have never been born. You will also die, but they will be reborn again. They will put on another pair of clothes at the end of, quote, a cycle of life. What is a cycle of life? A moment in the present. Remember this conversation? Moment is not the present. A moment is what? Something that passes. Present never passes. It's always there. Events of life, a span of life. It's a passing thing in the infinity of Mahakal, in the infinity of time. And so all that knowledge, he's saying, apply all that knowledge, look into it. Remember what I've told you. Step out of the ignorance. What is the biggest ignorance we all walk around with? I am this body. I am limited and localized from head to toe here. This is the ignorance that has to be awakened from. It's not ignorance as in I don't know anything. Just one thing. Just one thing. I am this body is the ignorance. So use all that knowledge, recognize, slash all your thinking about me and mine and my likes and my opinions and my dislikes. They are mine, this is mine, that is not someone's opinion. Events are good or bad, right or wrong, this should happen to me. This will give me pain, this will give me pleasure. All those falsities that say, I am this body, I am my thoughts, slash it with the knowledge. Recognize you have always been here, you will always be there, like all those that are in front of you. Name and form are not you, your uncle and your pitama and all those are just name and form. They are not yours. Slash it with knowledge, move forward. This doubt in your heart. Right? What is the doubt? How can I kill them? They're mine. Who are you to kill them? Who are you not to kill them? You have been trained to kill. You have been trained to be a warrior. Cutting a throat is not a challenge. It's cutting a throat that I consider mine. I'm not suggesting, put the context, okay, before you misuse the knowledge. This doubt is born of ignorance that they are bodies and I am the body. This is born of ignorance. Establish yourself in Karma Yoga in the shape of even-mindedness. The whole chapter has been on this. It's simplified in English here as even-mindedness, means rising above the pairs of opposites. Look beyond death and birth. Those are passing things. Body dies. Body is born. But you are never born. You never die. No, I don't remember. I think this conversation came up in Brazil. In the course, somebody asked, what do you mean intelligence versus intellect? So this question, and we often confuse the two. Intelligence, in a certain sense, is used as synonymous to consciousness, the knowingness principle, the guru element, that tattva. Intellect is use of the information that arises, the impulses of knowledge that arise in consciousness, and then we do something with it. So think about it like this. Do children, newborn babies, first couple of years of their life? Are they intelligence or intellect? Intelligence or intellect?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. They have intelligence. This you know, right? The eyes are alert. What radiates out of a baby's eye? Pure, raw intelligence, consciousness, you can say. If you clap your fingers or hands on the right side, they don't look over there. They look, the eye moves in that direction. When mom speaks, they recognize that voice as something that feels different than when some stranger yells or screams or speaks. Intelligence, liveliness, sat, chit, ananda. This is alert, it's awake, it's vibrant. Intellect is labeling, dissecting, analyzing, dividing. When we take the experience of that oneness and break it down into compartments, me and mine, you and yours, and other. When we do that, then we are using what faculty? Intellect. When we experience everything in that quiet state of acceptance, what is, as it is, you have dipped into intelligence, awareness, alertness. This happens in your meditations. It happens to you when you do hollow and empty, when you're sitting there. For a while, you're in compartmentalized separation mode. This is no good. I'm just thinking, I'm just sleeping. This is my 99th course. I've done 10,001 courses and still. And then after a while, you get tired of your own compartmentalizing. Yes? And then you slip into this place or whatever. And then you just sit there. Then that separation, that division, that good or bad, that was the intellect fighting, struggling, trying to make it better. Okay, should be. I'm a great meditator. I'm a teacher for 35 years. I should now be floating. Nothing's happening. You're more in the earth. Your head is even going in the earth. And you just finally say, fine. But then you're just aware that you are. Your head is down, maybe you're drooling, people are looking, whatever. Then you've dipped out of the buddhi and started floating, just in that space of easiness. Now, you don't have to use just meditation as an example. This is true also in life. Maybe you're struggling with something. No, some situation, a job, or some family thing, or some partner thing. Don't you find there's a certain moment when your mind and your body is either exhausted and it gives up, or some little awareness thought process comes in that says, I can't do this anymore. There's no point. This has been going on for 5 years. What am I lashing on to and grabbing on to? And then you kind of walk through. And then that person says, oh, well, you seem all right today. Everything get fixed? No, yeah, I'm fine. It's just how it is. It's okay. Yes or no? We have this even in our daily life where we get okay. It's a silly little 2-letter word, okay, but it means you started to step away from resistance into easiness. You're pulling back, you're pulling back, you're pulling back, which allows then the thing to happen and go. You remember this example of like when a bird flies into a room, if you just leave the door open, do your thing and let it do its thing, it'll fly out. But if you shoo, and you try to get it to go out, it goes further and further in your house, in the corner, and the poor thing is freaking out, scared, flutters and flies. And have you noticed they get really, really nervous? They don't move like that. It forgets how it came in. It can go out. It can find freedom. It forgets. I'm talking about the gap again, without using that word. The same exact thing happens to us in daily events. We forget. We get latched onto it. It becomes us. So we become the intellect, the buddhi trying to solve things instead of chodo, let it go for now. Establish yourself, O Arjuna, in Karma Yoga in the shape of even-mindedness and stand up for the fight. Fight. It's a strong word perhaps for daily life, but that's what it is. And it's not the fight against the event, people, or the situation, or the person. The fight against the ignorance. What is changing? What is not changing? Again and again and again, come back to this will change. But your conditioned mind is going to say, oh my God, I can't handle it. What am I going to do? No, no, no. What am I going to do? There's a bigger life force in me, not my thinking. This is going to change. Clear? Thus, in the Upanishad, sung by the Lord, the science of Brahma, the scripture of yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna ends the 4th chapter entitled The Yoga of Knowledge, as well as the disciplines of action and knowledge. Jai Gurudev. Official close. I hope we had covered them, but if not, we just did. Ready for chapter 5? Mala, let's begin chapter 5, verse 1.
अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च संशसि यच्छ्रेययेतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्.
Arjuna said, Krishna, you extol Sankhya Yoga, the yoga of knowledge, and then the yoga of action. Pray, tell me which of these two is decidedly conducive to my good. How many times have you gone to ask a question to Gurudev and then he says, choice is yours, blessing is mine, and your whole system inside is like, no, but tell me one thing. Yes? So the interesting thing here, because Gurudev spoke in the video really quite a bit about confusion, Arjuna's state of confusion. So do you remember that in the beginning, he didn't speak like he was confused. In fact, he gave a lot of knowledge from a state of confidence and of a state of I know. Oh, this is not dharma. Oh, killing is not good. Or what will happen to our generations? Oh, what will happen to our women? Oh, what is the point of winning for those whom I fight if they are not around to enjoy? Remember all that? All his so-called wisdom that he gave in chapter 1, all his list of arguments and reasons why he should not fight, came from a place of really knowing. And he was just looking to see if Lord Krishna somehow, and I think he thought that Lord Krishna would say, yes, absolutely no, yeah, chhod do, let it go. I think that he was looking for that, see, I think I should let it go because these people are doing these, no point in getting caught up. Look, they're going to kill, but why do I want to kill? There's no point. The big picture is let's save our women and children and our kingdom and let's hand it over. I don't need the kingdom that has nobody to rule over. I'm better off, going to the mountains. He came with apparent clarity and confidence and reason and a state of I know what is best. Yes, that's the tone of voice. And then slowly he puts down his bow and arrow and he's like, I just can't fight. I'm not going to do it. So from clear knowing, he comes to despondency. And then Lord Krishna jumps in, starts to give him knowledge, and he's now moving from I know, from despondency to a state of confusion. It's an evolution, though it may not sound like it, but it is evolutionary. What happens to us? 99% of the time, if not more, this is the same way we operate. Even when we go to ask a question to Gurudev, listen up, listen very carefully. Even when we want a decisive direction, we have in our head the reasons, just like Arjuna has his reasons why A versus B is better. So if you go there and you say, Gurudev, I don't know what to do. Should it be this, B, this? And he says, why not you just look into B? If he says that, why not you just look into B? Do you stop there or do you go, yes, Guruji, but then I was thinking, is this coming from a place of confusion? Like Gurudev said, if you are confused, be happy. Are you in that state? Or are you still in chapter 1, the knowing of Arjuna? Notice that we're really still in chapter 1. For anything to happen, for any kind of clarity, for anything, for evolution to progress, to move forward, I'm not just talking about the ultimate goals, but in life. If you let go of a fixed position, and come to a state of confusion, what have you done? You've allowed all opportunities and possibilities to open up. Are you listening? Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? First is a fixed position. This is how it is. This is right. I know what I'm doing, and we're going to do it like that. It's fixed. Nothing new at all can even enter. And actually, this leads to tussles and conflicts and challenges because there's no listening. There's no reasonableness when you're interacting with people. There's no reasonableness even internally within yourself. You're fixed. No, you don't let anything new come through. This is tamas, fear. Rigidity, fixedness is nothing more than I'm afraid, I don't know what, there's no pillar of knowledge that's coming in. There's no discernment of changing or non-changing. In fact, it's established. This is never going to change. And it's not in that big sense, never going to change, so let me go through it. It's never going to change, so I better hold on. That's the position that we take. Me and mine and hold. But then, because like I said earlier, when we were talking about the end of chapter 4, we get tired of our fixed place. Some little window starts to open with some new ideas, some new possibilities. But before we get to which is the new idea and the new possibility, there's confusion, uncertainty, unsure. But we don't acknowledge our own confusion. We still provide reason, logic, justification behind the confusion as to why we really have one direction or the other. Even when you're talking about it, whether it's with your partner, at home, in the office, with somebody, you'll notice that you're not really just openly, I don't have another word for it, neutrally perhaps, just listening to consider what the other person has to say and how does that impact or relate with the reasons that you have in your head, either for or against something. Am I clear? We're not at neutral, really. It appears like that. You know, I say this out of experience. So many people come with, Didi, I have a question for you. What is it? I'm just confused. I don't know what to do. My first question will be, have you spoken to Gurudev about this? Yes. Well, then just do whatever guidance and clarity you received from that. Yeah, Didi, but I don't know. I don't know if he understood, huh? What? But okay, shut up, Raj, be quiet. What do you mean? Well, I told him that perhaps I should be with this person, but then he didn't let me finish the story. I have this all the time. He didn't let me finish the story, I didn't complete. For me, though, I need to say what I need to say, not because he understood or not, because I need to say it. My mind needs to know that I put it on the table openly, honestly, and directly. And of course, he's not going to allow that to happen. Oh, but deal with it, deal with it, deal with it, But you continue that conversation and you say, well, don't you think I needed to tell him that because my mother is in New York and because my, guru is in, no, he doesn't need your factual details. Well, Didi, I'm not sure. So now you want to talk to me. Okay, tell me all the details. Then they tell you all the details. Oh, okay, thank you very much. But yes, then you listen to all the details. You do japa in your head while they're yapping away with details that you also don't need to hear. I'm not at the guru's place. You are not at the guru's place, but you're hearing things, so you have to be patient because in the first 10 seconds, you can't tell them what you hear. You have to pretend you don't know. Oh, and then you have to say what you have to say, which you wanted to say, 30 minutes ago. And when you do, they give you another story. Oh, wait, didn't you finish? Yes, but the thing is, there's always more. This means you're not really open. The mind does not accept that it is in a state of confusion. Very hard for ego to say, I'm confused. Really own, I'm confused. Let me open the doors for something new to come my way. Let me open the doors for some new idea, new creative force, new solution come my way. It's what we want, but that would mean trusting and jumping into the unknown. If you really, truly, fully own, I just don't know, then what happens? You're in the unknown. Now it's a little unnerving. This is the, if you are confused, be happy state that Gurudev is talking about. No? And clearly, Arjun is brilliant. I mean, I don't know. I take Gurudev's word for it, but he didn't take the hint. 700 verses. This is chapter 5. He didn't catch the hint. Why not? Because he's not still owning his confusion. Though that first verse, if you read it, Arjuna said, "Oh Lord Krishna, you speak about the yoga of knowledge, and then you also told me of yoga of action. I pray, please tell me which of these two decidedly is conducive to my good." He sounds so surrendered, no? Yes or no? If he was really that surrendered, if he had really owned his state of confusion, I'm sure we wouldn't have from chapter 5 through 18. But he's not. I have no way of proving it except, look, the book continues. The song of divine continues. And Lord Krishna could give a decisive answer, direction. But then it becomes borrowed knowledge. Really, no parent wants to decidedly tell their child what to do, where to do, and give a direction if the parent is wanting the child to grow in his own feet, to become resilient, to become strong, to be able to think and process under situations that are unexpected, and life continuously throws variables, unexpected things. No matter how much you prepare the kid, when this happens, do this. Times change, moments change, players change, and therefore there's always something new that has to be thought through. But good parenting often to parents mean telling them exactly what to do when situation A, B, and C happens. Yes or no? Yes or no? We often guide children. No, see, when this happens, don't do this, do this. And then you give all the reasons why they should do that. Yes, Lord Krishna gives his reasons, understanding, but ultimately Arjun has to choose his direction. If decidedly, Arjun, do this, drop everything and go to the mountain. Arjun, pick up your sword and fight. Arjun, what's absolutely best is for you to just absorb the knowledge, live in the knowledge, and study the knowledge and understand clearly that you are Atman. That is best. So don't do any action. It would all be borrowed knowledge. That guru, that parent, that teacher, that friend is not allowing the resilience of self-awareness. Do you understand this? It is the next situation. This is fear. This is worry. This would mean that you are being supported to be afraid. Why would you be afraid when it's all going to change? When none of this is real, what would a teacher? No. What would a parent say? No, go for it. See what happens. If you fall down, get back up. Anyway, it doesn't make or break who you are. Events come and go. Success comes and goes. Achievements come and go. Some people will like you. Some people will not like you. Stand up. This is what any good friend, supporter would do, whether it's a parent or a teacher. But certainly, a Krishna is not going to give borrowed knowledge. Though, of course, it's easy seemingly for Arjun if he was told one thing, and actually it's even easy for Lord Krishna to just say one thing. Not provide all the parameters of the directions that you must choose. It's so much easier, yes? It would be so much easier for the parent to just go and do everything for the child, but is it really easier for the parent or for the child? No. It's not. A good parent knows I have to let them fall down. I have to let them make choices. I have to let them own the consequences. I have to get them to see a bigger picture, that these things come and go. I do not need to sit here and make a big drama out of it with them. Are you listening? Arjun is not fully owning that he's confused. And he's not really asking for a clear, decisive thing because he's not going to follow. Exactly like I said, his little mind is going to jump in with, yes, but, ergo, 500 more verses. Yes, but. The moment you say yes, but, that's it. You're sitting on it. You don't know anything. We don't have clarity. We don't have understanding. We're stuck. We just don't want to own it. Are you hearing this? It's a simple verse in some ways. Oh, Arjun is asking a question in the right way, in the right manners, and he's so surrendered. Just like when Didi, I need to talk to you. Oh, Nandan, can I ask you a question? Ask a question, but are you willing to listen? We're not. We're really not. Because we're afraid to let go and go into the unknown. But that moment of unknown, that's where our greatest everything lies. That is when the doors of opportunities fully open and something new pours in. Something great within you is discovered. You become more courageous. You own life more. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes or no? It's a very, very important little quote verse, question. Seemingly we can just move on. Oh, but no, it's not. He's not confused yet or not owning it. And remember, you have to go through that journey. I know, I don't know, and then something new comes. It's almost like when the Buddha is saying, who should I speak for? Those who know, no, they will not listen. Those who don't know, they will also not listen. I don't know and I don't care to know. But those who are really in the middle, I really don't know, that beautiful, I don't know, of confusion, if you want, then the Buddha speaks. Then the angels say, Buddha, speak for them. You know, it's dangerous, really, in a certain way, to think that I was told what to do and I did it. You're disempowering. You're not willing to own your own divine source that you are, the light that you are. Operating out of fear to make things easy, because then you'll go back with another question and another question. But when you make a direction based on all that is available to you, the wisdom, the knowledge, the information, the support, the trust, the faith, and you move, you own it, no matter what happens, you become much more, you walk the razor's edge with more power. You don't cry because you get a little cut one way or the other. You don't get stuck there. Are you present? This really is, you just listen to anyone who comes, who's just come back from a conversation with a friend or a therapist or a guru or a teacher. You get both sides of the story, until you hold them, you shake them, and you say, hey, just look. This and this, do you want a decision or not? What are you going to do? If you could solve this situation, what do you need to do to get out of it? Give me a choice. Well, I just need to let this go. Okay, so let it go. But how would I let it go if I let it go? Okay. You don't want to let it go yet. Because even difficulty is more painful than the unknown for people. The ego doesn't like it. Are we clear? I think we stop here. Chapter 5, verse 1. Probably it's enough for now. Any thoughts, questions, comments on this? Okay, don't go off somewhere else. Anything?
That last sentence was difficulty is even more comfortable than the unknown. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable, but it's so true.
We hold on to what is known, even if it's difficult. We don't let it go. And then what we do is we take that difficulty, that pain, that whatever, situation, and then we victimize ourselves with it. Eventually, we become, poor me, look what I'm going through. Okay? Poor me gets you pity from others. That's all. It doesn't give you attention because they get fed up of giving you attention. I was enough with this crap. Get away from me. Doesn't give you attention. It certainly doesn't give you love. It doesn't give you strength, confidence, power to move. It doesn't give you courage. It doesn't give you a sense of self and faith or self-value or worthiness. You get to be a victim. We're kind of crazy because we hold on. At least then we feel slightly alive by continuously, because you see, you get stuck. When you hold on like that, deadness develops in life. Do you understand what I mean by deadness? You don't laugh fully, you don't cry fully, you don't dance fully, you don't sit steady, nothing, all the time, wiggly. No? And you hold that thing tightly, then you can at least go on feeling somewhere a little alive. Drama, more drama means there's more deadness. It keeps you feeling alive and vibrant. It's false. It's a drug going through the vein directly. No? You're smoking dope when we do that. You understand? And then you need more and more and more of it, So then life gives it to you. If you want to feel alive, life gives you more nonsense to deal with. You can either let the nonsense come to you so that the light shines further and you let it go and you see your own vitality, the divine nature within you, or you get stuck. It's where chapter 2, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, you are no different from me. But we hold on to what's not working because the unknown to the ego is more scary than the thing that's going on in front of us. Kushpinder, you have a question or your hand is up.
We talked about when you said, when someone says, do this, that's not really a way of that self-resilience of showing up, of that knowledge really coming up in us. But I had a question that how is faith? Because when we talk about sometimes that, do what Gurudev says. And there's that thing of Shraddha or faith that, okay, what he says is, even if it doesn't make sense for my mind, I'll do that. I'll do what he says. So there's that. And then there's also this knowledge of self-reliance that we're talking about. And how are both of them different? What's the difference between the two?
No, but let's say, so first of all, I really, as I said, people go to ask questions and Gurudev is more of a pointer rather than a directive. Better you stay in Los Angeles and not move to wherever, San Diego. Better. And at that moment, maybe there's all kinds of thoughts in it why you should move to San Diego, these friends, job, community, sangha, etc. But then you say, no, I'll stay. When challenges happen, you would have to own it. Because LA or San Diego, there's going to be challenges. That's just part of life. You'd have to own it. I chose to stay, so let me go, versus the little noise that's there. No, but he said to move. I'm a little surprised. Why is this happening? People do this all the time. He said, so I did. And then he's not going to live out that decision for you. You have to live it. And you have to have the strength to know that I'm choosing through this pointer, through this guidance. You have to have faith that whatever will be required in that decision, I will go through and I can go through and I will go through. That's not what happens. People will find a Didi or go back to the Guru and they will say, you told me to do this, I went, but now I stayed in LA and I lost my job and, the fires were there and my house burned down. Well, he didn't say if you stay there, your house won't burn down. He didn't say that. See, you disempower, you become a victim by doing that. To know there must be some reason. House burned down, job is gone, but I chose to stay in LA. There's a greater directive that came to me. All right, let's see what else is there. That's not what happens. Do you see the difference? That is not what people do. I talked it over with my friend, my parents, my therapist, my Didi. No, ultimately, you have to, Didi, give me a blessing. I want children. Okay, you get a blessing. Gurudev, I want children. God, you go to the temple. I want children. You have children. Now, God is not going to come down and change diapers. You have to use your hands and change diapers. Then don't go saying, it smells. I can't take it. It's too much. And then they have loose motion, so it's disgusting. Yeah, well, deal with it. Do you understand? But this is what people do. They really I didn't know it would be so hard. What did you think? Twiddle your thumb through children? What did you think? I give you a true story. There is a young woman, she's probably much older now. When I first went to India, she was from Norway. I forgot her Norwegian name, but she had an Indian name. She was called Lakshmi. Amazing girl, and she wanted children. She so wanted a child. When we would be in Devi Kutir, we'd be looking at Gurudev's Kutir, she'd just be praying. Gurudev would be in his room and she'd just be praying, I want a child, I want a child. And then Gurudev would be there in Sat, I want child, you know. So one day he said, like a quick tap. She went back to Norway. Her visas expired in India. She went back to Norway. She met Joe A. and she had a child. 6 months later, we were in the millennial course in 2000 in Italy. She was there. Oh, you have a child, right? You must be so happy. She was happy. It's not that she didn't love the child. She goes, but she said, my whole life, it's all gone. I didn't know. I have to get up at night. I have to change the baby's diapers. I have to, doesn't sleep, and it's 24/7. Oh my God, it's so much. Nobody told me. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. She's stunned from having a kid. I'm stunned from her statements. It's like, what? What did you think? No, I just didn't think. Because she played with somebody else's baby for like 20 minutes and she just figured this is amazing. She had something to entertain her and la 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 and keep going. The life force good and you feel good and happy. Babies are so contagious. They're full of love and light. Light as in ease, light as in bright, everything. It's amazing. So you're happy to play. What did she think that God or Guru were going to come in the middle of the night and say, you sleep, my little sweetheart, darling. I'll go change the diaper? What was she thinking? See, that's what I mean by resilience. Arjun has to see what has been given to him and digest, comprehend, take it in, make it his own, not borrowed knowledge. 99% of spiritual people are just scared people who are not willing to own a direction and the confidence that God is in me, I'm going to move. Spirituality becomes passive, and it's not the case. You have to own it. You have to, oh, this and this, okay. There are certain places where you can't. Your hands get tied. You're not able to. But then you also there realize, well, I have to at least put it out there and say, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. Do you see? Yes? I don't know. Doesn't it register somewhere in the heart as like, oh, what am I doing? And you have to ask yourself, don't just listen to it as, good theory. It is like this. Where do you own and where do you let go? And own as in not I am the doer and I'm making. No, the light within, that grace, that tattva of the light that shines forth with clarity to say, I am going to move with this. You are with me. This is your divine will. I will walk it. I will walk whatever comes my way. Imagine Arjuna, a soldier goes to war. Oh yes, I was told to go and it's good. And then sits there saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I came, look, there's so many bullets. There's so many people dying. Well, what are you thinking? Pick up the gun and start shooting. No, courage behind the choice is divine will also. If not, you are saying, I chose, the small mind, out of fear, seemingly surrendered. Okay, we'll end here. Officially, it's 7:20. Let's close our eyes just 1 second. And take a few long breaths in and out. Breathe in. A little more. And let it go. One more breath in. Little longer. Let it go. Jai Gurudev.